but it's tough to get someone to agree with that for a quarterback that's so injury prone. It's. But he's 24-8 as a starter. He'll definitely, if he goes to like the Packers or something, or the Browns, with great offensive lines like that. The Colts, but they're already set at quarterback. But if he were to go there, he might be fine. And the Niners are on line. They're good. He keeps getting injured, so it's pretty brittle. It's definitely kind of screwing up, his career. And I honestly think, but I think he can be worth a first rounder. I don't think that's a terrible ask. And I hope things work out with him. I really do. Honestly, I wish the best on every NFL player. Like, even Mac Jones, like, I'm hard on him, but I hope he does good. I mean, I'm not hoping he does terrible, but, he just doesn't seem like a guy that would be NFL ready, So Mac Jones, I don't know. Josh McCown believes that Darnold would embrace... This is irrelevant now because they just traded him, so it's irrelevant now. So the Bears are excited to have Andy Dalton at quarterback. He's a good backup quarterback. He'd be a great backup, but he's not a good starter. Like when you have to say, oh, he's not bad at the quarterback position isn't good. So I mean, it was just a bad signing. If they got Russell Wilson, I would have applauded them, honestly. Because I think some of you might think, oh, he's a Packers fan. Of course he doesn't like the move. I would hate the move if it were Russell Wilson, too. But, I would respect what they did. I'd respect the fact that they got him. But, it's just not a good move. I mean, Andy Dalton, I get it. He's experienced. But looking for someone that's experienced and talented. He's not talented. He's experienced. So, Andy Dalton, I don't get it, but they signed him, and apparently they like him. So, Jrue Holiday got the extension from the Bucks. I think he's the glue to the team, instead of Giannis. I think Dennis Schroeder is the glue to the Lakers, Like, when you look at it, they were pretty good, when it was just Schroeder and LeBron. Without AD, But, he's a great all-around player, and I think what Milwaukee's trying to tell us is, we're not getting anyone to free agency, and we got Holiday and Middleton, and they're great, so, we just might as well sign them. I'm a little annoyed with the Bucks, though, because when you have a back-to-back MVP, possibly a three straight MVP, 3-time MVP, 3 years in a row. I don't know how to say that. You should be in the finals at least. I mean, you don't have to win the finals. That's tough to do. But at least be in the finals and not lose to the Heat in the second round, You got to make the finals with MVP. But good for Middleton. Not Middleton. Holiday. Great player. So the Lakers are unsure about LeBron and AD's timeline to come back. But honestly, they're the 5 seed right now. That's pretty good placement, I guess. The Lakers, if they win 4 of their next 9 games, there's 22 games left. Get them back. Get LeBron or AD back in 10 or 11 games, and you could be in a good position. It's tough. It's tough. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not tough. But you get LeBron and AD back in 10 or 11 games, and if you win 4 of 9 games, you'll maintain like a 5 or 4, seed team, and you'll have LeBron and AD back for the last 10 games of the season. You should be in a good place. So which team's quarterback would put them in the best position? Like what teams are fine at quarterback? What teams could work? Now, honestly, the Panthers and Broncos confuse me because I was gonna say this, but honestly, the Panthers and Broncos confuse me because they say they want to move over their quarterback, but it doesn't look like they're making any moves at all, other than the fact that they both look like they're very hard on Deshaun Watson. But since his lawsuits, there hasn't been much talk. But here's my tiers for teams. Here's my bounce back teams. I think the Chargers will bounce back. I think they're going to do well. I think they fixed the O-line. I think they're going to get some good receivers in the draft. And I think Herbert's great. So they're going to bounce back, I think. They're not going to be a Super Bowl contender, but they're going to be good. I think the Pats will bounce back a bit. They're not going to win a playoff game, but they might make the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised. Niners, they got all their all their injured players back. They got their defense reborn. They're gonna it's resurgent. So I would not be shocked to see them bounce back at all. There are very talented teams: the Seahawks, Ravens, Browns, Dolphins, Cardinals, and Saints. They're not Super Bowl teams, but they're talented. The Seahawks got a bunch of guys: Lockett, Metcalf, Wilson, obviously. They got some good defensive pieces, I guess. Ravens, they got Lamar Jackson. They got a great running game. Pretty good defense, good coach. The Browns, they got Stefanski, Mayfield. They got a great offense. And a pretty good defense. Dolphins, they got a bunch of guys. Okay, so Harden just got injured against the Knicks. I don't know anything about that. I'm not going to talk about it unless it's serious, so I'm going to save that for tomorrow, possibly. All these teams, they're not Super Bowl ready, but they're definitely talented, and I wouldn't be shocked. Then the Super Bowl teams, the Colts, the Rams, the Packers, Bucks, Chiefs, and Bills. I think they're Super Bowl ready. I think they got great talent. I think they got the pieces to, win the Super Bowl. So those are my tiers of teams, and most of them, and when you look at it, the Super Bowl teams have quarterbacks. The Colts are the only question mark. We don't know if they have their quarterback. They might. We don't know if Frank Reich's going to revive Wentz's career. But, other than that, Stafford, we know that. We know Allen. We know Rodgers. We know Mahomes. We know all those guys. So you can't have a question at your quarterback position. Alright, let's get some music on. The Broncos, I should talk about them now because they don't really have an answer at quarterback. Broncos are really screwed right now because I don't see why you would trade for Watson at this point because he might be on the exempt list or something. And Darnold's taken. He signed to a team. He committed. Or he got traded, So, who else is on the market even? Mariota? I don't know why you're not making any moves. I would feel like after hearing all that crap about Watson, I would be on the move for someone else. At least Darnold, But, I don't know. So, alright, let's get some music going here. So, Steve Nash says there's a high chance Katie returns in a couple of weeks. And they've been fine without him, obviously, but you don't want to go into the postseason without Kevin Durant. But I think the Nets and Lakers aren't rushing anything back because they know once they're fully healthy, if they're at full strength in the playoffs, they're shoo-in for the final. They are, because how are you I don't know if there's any contender in the East for the Nets. I'd say the Nuggets and maybe the Clippers for the Lakers. So I think what they're looking at is, okay, when we're healthy, we're probably going to meet in the finals. If we're at full strength, we're basically shooing. So why not? What's the rush? You know? So the Seahawks are apparently swooping in on AB. I've heard that the Packers are second in the odds to get him, but that doesn't mean anything. I hope they go after him because he would be a great piece to our team. But you know what? I think the slot receiver is the least of our concerns because we already had the number one offense last year, so we're good there. I just think the corner is more imperative to focus on right now. Edge rusher was a give or take. So go for a corner. I can make my piece if you don't sign a receiver, but it would make you feel really good if you sign a receiver. But, on the Seahawks side of the spectrum, their problem is corner. They have good wideouts. They got Metcalf. Lockett was good at the beginning of the season, at least. And they just got Gerald Everett at tight end. So, they don't need AB. But it definitely won't hurt. But I'd focus on corner at least. I wouldn't be focusing on this. So, actually, I'm almost done with this podcast. But later, I will tell you how good I think Trevor Lawrence really is. Actually, I'll tell you all this when I'm done with this news rant here. So, Rodgers is going to host Jeopardy today. I bet he looked into the tape on this. I didn't want to cover this, but I figured I might as well have, I can't be all business here, I guess. Gotta let loose sometimes. So I bet he looked in the tape for this, I didn't know it was going to be 2 weeks long, but it's good for him, honoring Alex Trebek. I hope that goes well. I actually saw that someone made a joke about Matt LaFleur. One of their answers was, who decided to kick the field goal? Kind of a cold joke, but it's funny. Alright, so I will tell you how good I think Trevor Lawrence really is. Playing Trevor Lawrence or this guy next 5 years. And then I'll give you my March Madness final prediction. So, I should probably keep the music going here. Trevor Lawrence or Russell Wilson? Next 5 years, I'm going Russell Wilson. Or no, I'm going Trevor Lawrence, actually. Just because, I don't know. I'm not sure about this one. Alright, I'm going to go Wilson. I'm going Wilson. I think Wilson has the weapons now. My concern is Wilson's contract. But, I think with the weapons he has now, and the fact that he's a great quarterback, I would take him next 5 years because we know he played an NFL game. I don't know. It's tough. Him and Wilson, I don't know. I'm going to go Wilson. I'll get back to that later. Trevor Lawrence or Justin Herbert? I'm going Justin Herbert. I think he's something special. I think he has a better arm than Lawrence. And I think he's just as athletic. We saw what he can do. And I think once he gets the weapons, he'll be great. Lawrence, he'll start off on the Jaguars. We don't know where they're going with that, so we'll see. Trevor Lawrence or Deshaun Watson. I thought this would be tough, but I'm going to go Lawrence now with all those lawsuits. I think that's pretty obvious now. Trevor Lawrence or Kyler Murray. I'm going Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a better athlete. He's taller. He's got a bigger arm. I just think he's more of a natural. I think he's going to do better than Murray. Murray might win more, but I think he'll do better, definitely. All right, Aaron Rodgers or Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence. It pains me to say because I like Aaron Rodgers, but Rodgers is going to be 42. He has a contract problem. And Lawrence, he'll be on a rookie deal. They'll be able to sign anyone. So